Hello. Today we'll learn about how to create a dynamic form in MS Excel using Visual Basics for application. Normally when you create a user form using Visual Basics, for example, if you see on screen, what you do is you insert a user form here and then using the controls toolbox over here, you either insert a label and then you edit the labels over here. Then you insert a text box and you edit the text box properties from here. But this does not give us flexibility dynamically to add labels. The form layout is fixed and you have to adjust your UI according to how you have designed the form at the beginning. What if I tell you that there is a way to dynamically add labels, text box in a manner so that you can customize your form, look and feel via code? So let's see how we can do it. For that, we'll use a configuration sheet. If I go back to my Excel, so I will use this configuration sheet wherein I will add the order number, the orders of how my control elements or the input fields should occur, the control name, like what I need. Do I need a text box? Do I need a label? Do I need a option box, etc.? Then what type of that control is. Now Excel understands different kinds of controls. For text box, it is forms.textbox.one. Similarly, for labels, it is forms.labels.one. Okay. Uh, Caption is simply the name how this input field should occur, and variable name how I want this, what should be the variable name of this control. Okay. Now I have added a level further in this user form that I will just enter text box here and my code will generate a label for this text box. For example, I will not separately have to add a label control over here. Just adding a text box with first name over here will add a label called first name, and beside that we will be adding a text box. So let's see how we develop this code. So we click on Visual Basic over here. You see that our form is already added. I'll just remove this. Okay. You can change the name of this form from here. I will let the name be user form 1b. Okay. I would hit the view code option over here. Okay. And enter a sub called add fields. Okay. Now here we will initialize few objects initially. Dim fields as object, dim field label as object. Now my field will hold the actual text box. Field label will be the actual label name for the text box. Okay. Then I would say dim counter. I need a field counter as integer. I would also need the name of that configuration sheet, the reference of that configuration sheet. So I'll just initialize as such as worksheet. Now I will set the reference of this worksheet as such as this this workbook dot sheet form config. See, this my name of the sheet. Then I would um, set the field counter. This one would be the number of elements or control boxes that I have. So this is right now we have four. Okay, so I'll set up field counter is equal to application dot worksheet function dot count a. I will use the range over here. Okay. Now, just a word of caution that this will return 5 even though our actual fields are 4, but it will return the entire value from headers as well. Okay, so we just need to keep that in mind. Okay, now we'll initiate a for loop. I have a simple for loop from 2 to this field counter. Now this for loop would be used to actually add the different fields that are mentioned in our Excel. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll loop through each and every row over here, see what type of control it is, what is the caption name that needs to be captured, and the variable name that needs to be put in for that, and we'll place that in our user form 1. Okay, so and how we'll do that is we'll start by let me copy this. We'll start by setting the field label as user form1 dot controls dot add. What we have to add is forms dot label dot one in double quotes, and then we'll enter the variable name of label, and this is where we are adding the label automatically for the text box. Okay, so we have initialized our field label. Now what we'll do is we'll say width and width, and then we'll initialize the property of this label. So we'll say dot caption is equal to sh dot cells, comma 4. Okay. Now this caption is actually our this. Okay. Now we'll say dot f is equal to, let's say, 10. We'll say dot width is equal to 50. We'll say dot top is equal to, let's say, 20 into 5. This is how This is the bare minimum properties of the label that we have set. We'll just copy this line. Now comes the actual field. Okay. So here, instead of, since we just have text box right now for demo purposes, okay, so we'll just say sh dot cells I, comma 3. Now this holds our actual type, control type, and then our variable name here is sh dot cells I, comma 5. This is the fifth column. Okay. Now we will need to set the properties of this. Since text box does not have caption, so we'll delete this here. We'll say left, let's say we want to start at 100. We want the width to be 100, and then top is fine because top is the actual level height of this where it will be placed. Okay, now this is our add fields function. uh, Now let us add our function to initialize the user form. Okay, we'll delete this, and then we'll say user form initializes all add fields. Save this. Let's see and run and see if we have any compile errors right now. We see that there's a compile error here, and this is because there's a missing s here. It is this workbook.sheets, so we add a s over here, click on save, then we run this. Okay, we see that our form has been dynamically created using all the text boxes that we have entered over here. Okay, let's say instead of 4, we have one more to add, just for uh, checking if dynamically we are able to add something. So we'll just say text box, and here we'll say forms. Let's say we want to add a class as well, and they'll say txt class. Let's save this. Let's run our code. There you go. Our class is automatically added. Similarly, you can add option boxes, combo boxes, buttons, list box. All these control forms can be added dynamically, and you can design your form as per the needs of your code. For example, let's say you're designing an inventory management system and you want to update a user form, so the layout of the user form, so that when you click the particular button you visit stock, in stock, out stock, your form should change. So this configuration sheet kind of an approach can help you create your forms on the run, and your layout can be created dynamically. Hope you like this video. Thank you, and please let me know in comments how you like this video.